overall effort in keeping your season alive?
Yeah, pretty good. I thought we played pretty strong game. Kept them at bay for the most part, limited their chances. Thought we did a better job in our zone entries, in our own zone and in plays, coming up as 5. A great team effort. I thought our special teams were great. That obviously needs to be big. It's huge in the playoffs. I think they were winning the battle the first couple games before this one, and we needed to step up, and I think everybody did. And it's one game, and we got to refocus quick and get ready for the next one.
Nick, you and a lot of your teammates seem to have an extra gear tonight. Where did you find that?
Well, I mean, we were down 3-1 in the series. So that made it pretty easy, and playing at home in front of our crowd is special. So, like we've said before, we don't want to be done playing hockey, and I think today showed that. We just got to take that to the next game.
Just wondering how much momentum, if any, can you take to Dallas from a game like this?
It's a whole new game, and it's on the road. So. For me, nothing. Obviously we're going to look at video and see the things that we need to continue doing and some things that we can clean up. But I think overall we played a really good game today, and that gave us the result that we wanted.
Nick, you've had 5 goals in this series. Obviously you were coming off that injury, but just maybe describe what it feels like to be producing in obviously a big moment in time for your team, and just how are you feeling personally about your game?
I feel good. Obviously there's things that I want to clean up too. My whole second period, for example. But I think overall I got my legs going, and I get them going early, and obviously that's a huge part of my game. So that's something that I want to continue doing.
Certainly had your legs going on that empty netter. What did that puck race look like to you? You're just doing everything possible, obviously, to be the first guy to get to it, right?
Yeah, I was waiting to make sure it was getting out, and Fet's got it out really far, really well. You get that one in the back of the net, the game is officially done. So I had one last speed burst in me.
Kyle, you kind of touched on a bit with the entries, but for a big part of Game 4, you guys seem to be the better team. Tonight, in the totality, you guys were. What do you think the difference was in terms of hitting that other gear?
I think it's everybody just taking it up a notch, winning their battles. If you just look at it over the course of a game, how many 50-50 battles there are, and it adds up. You win there in your own zone. All right, it's the next zone. You got to win the next battle, get it over there, win the next battle. So I think it's just a combination of everybody having that extra gear and that fight, and just being dialed in. And it's an ultimate team sport. We need every single guy in here going, and it's the toughest time of year. And I thought we stepped up, but obviously job's not done.
Nick, I'll put this to you first. I hope you'll both touch on it. But after the last game, you talked about wanting to repay the fans. And I'm wondering if you could put into words what it would mean if you were able to win Game 6 and bring this back.
Well, it would mean that we're not going on vacation yet. But it would mean a lot, obviously. We want to go to Dallas and win that game, and like I've said, these fans have been. It's been so special to play here in front of this crowd, and we want to repay them by coming back and playing a Game 7 here.
Kyle, what's it like to see Connor Hellebuck post his second shutout of the series, given all the noise around him so far?
Yeah, he's been great. Even when times where we weren't helping him out, he still, I thought, looked great. I mean, his confidence never wavers. He's the type of guy that comes to the rink every day with a smile on his face and gives us his best. And his game throughout the whole first round, second round, his way he approached it, he's been the same. And I think we've been better in front of him and helped him out in a lot of ways. And he's been awesome when the chances when he needs to be.
Okay, guys. Appreciate it.
Scott, I imagine you'd be pleased with an awful lot of elements of that game, but in your mind, what all came together to make it what it was?
That was everybody. That was our whole roster stepping up and knowing what the challenge was in front of us and putting their best game on the ice. And it was everybody, forwards, D, goaltender. It was everybody stepping up, not wanting to be eliminated tonight. And that's you could see it right from the puck drop, the opening shift, and we didn't take our foot off the gas.
Scott, what would you see from your power play, and maybe how much of a momentum boost did you get from the late one, even though you didn't score as you got to the 5-on-3
at the end
eventually?
of the second period? Yeah, I mean we had some great looks. Obviously, Ottinger made some big stops, but just the fact that we got in on the entries, we got in. The puck battles, the retrievals, the attack in the net, all the stuff we talk about. We did those things well, and because we did them well, we got rewarded for it.
What does a team have to meet the moment the way this team has repeatedly done all year?
What was the first part?
What does a team have to have? What does it have to possess to be a team that meets the moment the way this team does?
Oh, man, there's a few things. Obviously, it's our leadership in our room is a big one. Our guys, just you could feel it, you could hear it from this morning till tonight. Guys just knowing that they had to be at their best tonight. I think that we've done a good job of, putting stuff behind us and focusing on what the next challenge is, and whether that was going from the last game to tonight's game, or whether that was going from your first shift in the first period to your third shift in the second period. It was being consistent and doing those things that are going to help us have success. And guys just recognized they each had a job to do, and they went out and did it.
When you come up with that good a first period but come up empty, there could be a tendency to sag. What'd you see?
Oh, I saw their goaltender make some outstanding saves. He did. He really did. And then, obviously, we had some breakdowns in the second, and Helly was there for us, too. So I thought both goalies were really, really good. But that's part of what we talk about, is that stay in the moment. Don't worry about what the end result will be. Let's just keep putting the work in. Really liked how we had our, a strong first, and that helped us kind of have momentum going into the second. Dallas had a push on there in the second for stretches, but at the end of the day, we stayed with our game, and that's what's going to have to. We're going to have to do a carbon copy of that, on Saturday. Exact same thing's going to have to happen.
Scott, I'm wondering, what does it mean to this organization, like the fan support, not just inside the rink, but tonight it's like pouring rain outside the whole night, and it's pretty packed, it looked like, out there. What does it mean to you guys to know that it's not just the people inside, but all the people outside?
Well, I'm glad it's raining. If that helps the fire situation, I hope that's a good thing. But for our fans, that's them. They've been doing it. They've been awesome this whole stretch here. This playoffs, believe me, we can feel it. You can really feel that. Like I mentioned this morning, there's another wave that comes into this building, and it just kind of pulls you along. And our guys were riding on it tonight. But that's what you love about it, and we love for a chance to come back and do it for Game 7. But we got a lot of work ahead of us here in Game 6. But to reward our fans and for them to get behind us and give them a chance to see another game, that's what we were looking to do.
Mark, what was your take on? Scott, what's your take on Mark getting the 2-minute roughing after Jamie Bennett delivered that left jab?
Wasn't real happy out with that all kind, but we're the ones that are up in the game. Didn't think we should have come out of that pile up with us having the extra minor. Thank you. Yep.